Thursday, everyone. Jason and Alicia here with you.
Yeah, Jen's going to bring us that story here in about 45 minutes, so stick around for that. Meanwhile, let's go over to meteorologist John Ziegler. Today's the day to get out because it's all going downhill from here.
So optimistic. I love it.
Yes, it's going to be a disaster. Hey, Kansas, this is your day. I know you're getting ready for the day. It's probably a jacketless day unless you're going to be at school later. But look at the 50s this morning. That's this morning's bus stop. This afternoon, it still will be in the 60s until about 4:30. This morning, temperatures way warmer than yesterday. Look at some of these out here in western Minnesota. 27 degrees warmer. That is shocking. I mean, that is whiplash right there. 54 degrees in Wilmer, 49 in the Twin Cities. A tad cooler in Wisconsin, but we're all very, very warm for this time of the year. Got your cold front sitting in Moorhead. This is your front. Out ahead of the front always drives up south winds. That's exactly what we have. Strong winds today. Winds at 20. Temperatures in the middle to upper 60s. Then comes down crashing. So this is a very strong northwest wind with jackets on. If you're going to be out there doing a late night walk, late evening walk, very different. We're behind it. We'll talk about how long this cool down is going to last and how cold it's actually going to get in your forecast, Jen.
All right, thanks, John. Starting off 6 o'clock on a good note in the traffic department here. Taking a look at Roseville, 36, moving along great. We are starting to see traffic pick up as we enter our 6 o'clock hour. Pretty normal, though. Nothing out of the ordinary. Here's the Fish Lake split. Again, moving along great. Jason?
Jen, thank you very much. One of the biggest days of giving in Minnesota is now underway. The 15th annual Give to the Max Day kicked off about 6 hours ago.
I love this day because Minnesotans are so generous. The one-day drive could change the future for more than 4,000 nonprofits and schools that are looking for some extra support. So with 18 hours left on the clock, take a look at your screen. They've raised more than $13 million, almost $14 million at this point.
Oh, and counting.
Yeah,
Look
so
at
in
that.
less than an hour from now, volunteers will start pouring into the Second Harvest Heartland warehouse to pack meals for those in need. The first shift starts at 6 o'clock, so right now, the last shift wraps up at around 7 o'clock tonight. And we're told around 200 people will volunteer for this Pack to the Max this year, the event. And of course, volunteering to pack food isn't the only way you can help out. You can, of course, give to the organization. This organization typically provides 3 meals for every $1 donated, but I think they're up to 6 meals for every $1 because they get so many generous donors. Second Harvest says their goal is to give out over 2 million meals, so donations are critical, especially with Thanksgiving just 1 week away. And state food shelves seeing record demand this time of year.
So coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to talk to the CEO and tell you about how your donation could win you a $6,000 prize. We have our CC Gaines live there on scene. We're going to talk to her in just a few minutes.
Allison O'Toole, the CEO, says they're so busy this time of year, but it's definitely needed. Well, today's Give to the Max Day also comes as organizations are saying they're seeing a dip in donations. That's why a group of lawmakers are hoping to add an incentive to donate by making it easier to get a tax break. The IRS says only about 10% of people itemize their donations. The rest claim the standard deduction. Because of this, nearly 90% of taxpayers don't qualify for the full tax deduction despite their donations. A bill put forward by Senator Amy Klobuchar and 18 other senators are aiming to change that.
And the whole idea is to make it easier for people to give and to not just have it easy for wealthy people to give.
Their bill, which is currently making its way through Congress, would give all taxpayers a chance to claim their charitable donations, regardless if they itemize on their taxes or not.
Big news out of D.C. this morning. You're taking a live look at our nation's capital, where just 7 hours ago, the Senate sent a short-term funding bill that would stop a government shutdown to the president's desk for him to sign. This bill splits government funding into 2 groups. Some departments will be funded through January 19th, while others will be funded through February 2nd. So that means Congress will now have to deal with 2 more government shutdown deadlines early next year.
Turning to new developments in the last 16 hours on a multi-agency effort to crack down on gangs in the Twin Cities.
I'm Lou Raguse. 14 more alleged members and associates of Minneapolis street gangs were arrested. It's part of federal prosecutors' efforts to combat crime in the Twin Cities using the organized crime law called RICO. This was the 3rd round of arrests made by a federal violent crime task force, this time targeting alleged members of the High Street gang accused of trafficking fentanyl. The U.S. attorney said that gang members would fly to Arizona to buy the drugs and then either mail them back or fly with the drugs on commercial flights. So far, 73 alleged gang members have been charged, and already 17 of them have been convicted.
A Minnesota man is now facing felony charges for his alleged role in the January 6th insurrection. Paul Orta Jr. was arrested in Blue Earth in the last 36 hours. Prosecutors say he's seen on camera tossing barricades, rushing toward officers, and going into restricted areas of the Capitol. He's the 13th Minnesotan charged in the insurrection. 5 have been convicted.
We're also following a situation unfolding right now between Israel and Hamas. In the last few hours, Israeli forces have stormed Gaza's main hospital for a second time. ABC's Keir Simmons has the details from the ground in Tel Aviv.
Good morning. Well, we wait for more news from Al-Shifa Hospital, where yesterday the Israelis said that they had found weapons and grenades and other military paraphernalia, but it did not appear that they had so far found the kind of command and control center that had been talked about by the US and by the Israelis. There's no news so far about help for those premature babies, those dozens of babies, though Israel did say that it sent in baby food and baby incubators. We wait to see whether those have truly arrived. Talking to doctors in the hospital, they have described being frightened and worried. I'll have all the latest coming up on Today.
Well, today students at Edina High School are planning to walk out of class to show solidarity with the people of Palestine. That's happening at 2:18, about an hour before dismissal. And take a look at this new video in from overnight of Jewish-led protests outside of Senator Amy Klobuchar's house. They were doing the Jewish rituals for mourning, grief, and rage to convince the senator to support proposed legislation for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza.
It's official this morning. Women made history in St. Paul. Starting next year, the city will be led by an all-female city council.
I'm Sammy Solina. St. Paul's leaders officially accepted last week's election results, which means officially St. Paul has its first female-led city council. And it's not historic just for that reason. They are mostly women of color, and it's a very progressive and young group. Now, we spoke to as many of those new members as we could, and they said that they're excited to tackle issues such as public safety, housing, climate change, infrastructure together.
6:08